We've got them there if you want.
Yeah. Which one's first? Go live or start streaming? Stop streaming.
Go
Stop
live.
streaming.
You have to press go live for it to actually see how we're.
And start recording as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, a game where, as a neutral, I don't think it was the best game to watch. As we can see, Trossard with the one goal, one and only goal in a game that, in my opinion, my humble opinion, United deserved to get something from that game. They did. Arsenal, for me, didn't seem or look like the Arsenal that we've seen in the past. They didn't get into their fluid game.
Mm.
And I have to say, Man United surprised me. A lot of people were expecting a 3-0 or 4-0, an absolute slapping, an absolute drubbing. But as I've said many times, when it comes to Man United against Arsenal, form, you have to ignore the form because that never ever matters in these games. So I know a lot of Arsenal fans were saying they're expecting an absolute destruction. That never happened. And in fact, from my perspective, I think United did enough to get something out of the game. I wasn't really impressed with Arsenal, except for the defense. And Arsenal, the way they set up their structure defensively and the way that Arteta has them playing this season is a lot more pragmatic than they've ever been.
Thank
Look at
God.
the players. You got Declan Rice and Partey and those sort of players in your midfield that are not the most flamboyant players. Sorry, they're not. So there's a lot for us to talk about. I'm going to have to talk about our attack, Manchester United's attack. Hoyland, Garnacho, and a mention of Amad Diallo, who played amazingly well. The question I want to ask is, for me, Amad Diallo is United's best forward, best winger. Why has it taken the manager till now to start Amad Diallo? He's had many opportunities to start the guy, and today we had a little glimpse, just a small glimpse of what this kid could do. The mistake, I know a lot of people are going to blame one player and Casemiro, but the mistake that led to Arsenal goal was a collection of errors.
Yeah.
The goal shouldn't have really happened. And we're going to talk about the goal. We're going to talk about Arsenal potentially winning the league. How you feel about that? How you feel about the team's progression under Arteta. We're going to talk about the manager and how we feel about this Ten Hag guy. Because I'm not really angry at this moment. I'm just disappointed. Disappointed, and that's it. So there's a lot for us to get into. As usual, guys, smash the like, turn on the notifications, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. This is a channel where we say what we see, not how we feel. We try our best not to be biased.
Well, I'm gonna
But
be biased about Arsenal,
I'm not
but
gonna lie, today I'm gonna sound a bit biased. On this channel, we try not to be, but today, because I'm sitting next to the enemy, yeah, I mm. All right, let's go into it, man. All right, let's go into it. The Man United lineup. Why has it taken the manager this long to start Amad Diallo? I could say a lot about the lineup. We've got a lot of injuries. Varane, of course, is one of them. Martinez, another one. No Rashford, no Bruno. So I understand to a certain extent why the manager decided to play the players he's played today. In hindsight, or just looking on paper, I think the midfield three of Scott McTominay, Amrabat, and Mainu are a very compact midfield three. I think Mainu still has positional, or it still lacks some positional awareness, right? Scott McTominay, as we know, is not the best footballer in the world, but what Scott will give you is drive, determination, and passion. Words that are not tangible, words that are not tangible, and words that a lot of British footballers love to talk about. Amrabat is probably arguably the best footballer in that midfield. You can argue Mainu could be, but Amrabat is older. He's more experienced. Casemiro and Evans at the back, for me, is a disaster. Casemiro is not a centre back, and Evans has lost a lot of pace. Where my concern always is with United is the front three. Our attacking lineup, our attacking cohesion, the way that the manager sets us up, the way that the manager wants us to play this transition football doesn't leave room for people who want to keep possession of the ball, like Sancho's, like the Marshalls, and like the Amads, the technically sound footballers. We prefer to play a quick transition, pace and power sort of attacking, sort of like Liverpool heavy metal football. That's what the manager wants to play. However, playing that way, playing that style of football means that you will always have problems breaking down a low block, right? So that's the Man United lineup. I understand why the manager has picked the players he's picked. However, like I said, I just wonder, why has he chosen now to start Ahmad? Why has he not started Ahmad before, right?
Mm.
And I expected this for the Arsenal team. I think most Arsenal fans
Yeah,
expected this. What
yeah.
what would you say?
I was expecting this kind of lineup. We want to play a strong team going to Old Trafford. It's not a simple um game when you go up there.
Mm,
And I think anything can happen when you play Man United.
yeah.
So in some ways, I think today we were lucky.
Mm,
I think we were lucky because you probably, especially when Diallo was on the pitch, you could have probably converted. It's because you had Hoyland up there, I guess,
yeah.
ruining it. But for us, I guess I'm the same as you. My back line are the people I'm most proud of. They played well today.
Yeah.
I think they even made Saliba man of the match,
Mm,
which I always find interesting when you've had, a lot of people would talk about Havertz, or what a sick assist, and the goal from Trossard. But at the end of the day, without our defensive line, I think you would have broken us down, and that was our downfall the
yeah.
previous seasons. So I'm pleased with the outcome. I do agree and recognize that actually, probably as a whole, United, you've played better than you've played for a long time this season.
Yeah. Yeah.
And am I really surprised? No, because we know that Man United can sometimes bring it out at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And I think not having Bruno on the pitch helped. I know a lot of Man United fans won't like that, but I think it helped you.
There's a way to look at it. There's definitely a way to look at it. A lot of people will say having Rashford and having Bruno would have helped Manchester United, right?
True.
And you can look at it that way, and I understand why you'd
Maybe.
say that, of course.
Yeah.
But the flip side of it is, if we had Bruno, would we be giving the ball away a lot more? Would we be turning the ball over
That's
to
my point.
Arsenal in silly situations?
Mm,
Because Bruno gives the ball away in very silly situations. Would that happen a lot more? And therefore, would you be hitting us on a counter attack a lot more
yeah.
if we had those players that lose the ball a lot? Because
Yeah.
Rashford loses the ball a lot and Bruno loses the ball a lot. So playing those
Yeah.
players, the flip side of that is, could if you play those players, could you have actually played better
I
as a
think
result? That's critical thinking, right? And that's obviously a question I want to pose to you guys. What I can say is this: in terms, let's talk about the goal. Let's go straight to the goal. And I know a lot of people are going to analyze the goal, and a lot of people are going to say it's Casemiro's fault. And while Casemiro does have a part to play on this channel, we don't do black and white. We have to look at the whole picture,
mm,
right? We have to look at the fact that it was a goalkeeper who had the ball.
yeah.
Casemiro dropped deep,
Yes.
make himself available for the pass. The goalkeeper obviously went long.
Went somewhere else.
Hoyland, he went to Hoyland.
Mm,
And I've never seen Hoyland in my life receive a long pass on his chest like Weghorst would, or any big tall striker like Ibrahimovic would. I've never seen the guy take a ball on his chest, bring it down, and bring others into play. So we've gone long to this guy a lot of times with no success. So Onana had the ball, decided to go long. Hoyland didn't even challenge for the ball. He was nowhere near it. Arsenal won the ball straight away, right?
yeah.
So straight away, Casemiro's out of position, and you can see Casemiro trying to get out. You can also see there's no drilling. There's no sort of like playoff side. There's no. You can tell we're not well drilled. Casemiro is not a centre back, and he doesn't play centre back, right? So the cohesion at the back is not going to be as good as the cohesion at the back for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Clearly not. And you can see that. So Onana plays the ball to Højlund. He doesn't compete. Garnacho doesn't compete. Not only that, Diallo is nowhere to be seen because we play that fullbacks tuck in business. That's what a lot of teams play that sort of football where your fullbacks tuck in and they become extra midfield players, right? Diallo was nowhere to be seen, and Evans was the closest person to Havertz. Even then, right, even when Havertz or when the ball went to Havertz, United had enough players at the back to deal with the situation. That's the point I'm trying to make. We had 4 or 5 players, including Manu, including Aaron Wan-Bissaka, all running back against 2 Arsenal players. If that was the other way around and we had 2 United players against 4 Arsenal players, we wouldn't score. And we've seen it time and time again in this match. Arsenal, they didn't give us a sniff, really, right? And to see how, in my opinion, the major culprit, in my opinion, is probably Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And the reason why I would say that is, one, it's not the first time that we've seen that Aaron loses a bit of focus and loses a bit of concentration.
That's fair.
At the back, at right back. If you can make that run inside Aaron Wan-Bissaka, right, you'll probably score.
Yeah, you'll discombobulate him.
Because he's not very quick to react. He's very good at slide tackling. He's very good at winning the ball in a 1v1 situation. But he's not always focused. He loses concentration very, very often at the back. And there were seasons after season, especially with Ollie, when we kept saying this. He should not have let Trossard get 2 yards on him. He saw Trossard, he was following Trossard, and still, not only did we allow Havertz to put it back, Aaron allowed Trossard to get 2 yards on him. So, from my perspective, we cannot blame just Casemiro for that goal as much as the media wants us to do so. That was a collective error from Manchester United defensive line and goalkeeper. But Arsenal scored. And before Arsenal scored, Højlund had an opportunity to score.
Yeah.
And what did Højlund do?
He skied it.
He skied it. And I want to, and this is what, let's talk about Højlund very quickly. I'm going to say this to Arsenal fans, Man United fans, and anybody who's watching this. Forget feelings, yeah? Forget emotions. Forget all of that stuff. I'm a Man United fan. Højlund is not good enough for this football club. You got to just strip it away and just look at what you see. Look at his football fundamentals. What is he good at? Tell me, please, what is this guy good at? He can't hold the ball up. He has very, very bad first touch. And when he does get the ball under control, he doesn't have the close control that's needed. He's not going to put the ball under his foot and drag it back and roll it back and do a step over. He's not going to do anything like that. He's a very big, stocky, robotic footballer. And this is where football is going. And I keep saying this time and time again. Football is becoming an athlete's game. We want big people who are big and strong and quick. The footballers like Amad Diallo's, who in my opinion was the best player on the pitch for Man United until he came off. He was. Those players are getting frozen out, and we're just, and the Scott McTominays and the, I don't know, the Højlunds are what's in fashion now. The guys who can run 100 miles an hour, 100 meters, sorry, 100 miles an hour, like I said, run long distances, have abs of steel, but no footballing ability. And that's what we're doing. So, yes, United, we should, if we had a better striker, that would have been a goal. Or at least get the shot on target.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So, Højlund, not good. Garnacho today, he tried. The kid tries. The kid runs and runs and tries to beat his man, but he's not good enough. And I'm glad Amad played today because, of course, I'm annoyed that the manager has not played him. and he showed everyone up how good he is technically, right? And he showed that he's well above Garnacho.
Mm.
He's well above Garnacho and the other attackers that we have, right?
Yeah.
And yes, Garnacho, he tries, he does, but he's just not good enough. My main problem with Garnacho is one, he's not technically sound enough for me, right? And his decision making, he's so erratic as a footballer. So erratic. It's unbelievable. There's no calmness about him. There's no calculation about what he's doing. It's all off the cuff. It's all running frantically. You never know what he's going to do. And when you have a footballer like that, people say it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you never know what he's going to do. No. It means he doesn't know what he's
What
going
he's
to do.
gonna do.
Don't you understand that?
Mm.
And that's not good. I want footballers who are calculated, who know what to do, who know to slow down, Garnacho. If you're running on the wings, right, and there's no one in the box, slow the hell down and wait for your teammate to catch you up. Stuff like that, right? He doesn't have the IQ, the intelligence, and he's not a baby. Our attackers are just simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. And to be honest, I wasn't impressed with Arsenal today. I was not impressed. I watched Saka carefully today because I want to see why he's worshipped like the god of, I don't know, why he's worshipped like the way he is. And I watched Saka today and I'm like, he's a good footballer,
Yeah.
but he's not amazing. He doesn't do anything amazingly well. He does everything well, but not amazingly well. He's not this world-class footballer that everyone is saying he is. And I'm going to die on that hill. He just isn't. I could see with my eyes. I see how he plays. He wins a lot of fouls for you.
Yeah.
And he wins fouls because one thing Saka is good at, he's good at creating distance between the defender or the person trying to win the ball off him and the ball.
Yeah.
He'll always, so if you're coming at me trying to win the ball,
Mm-hmm.
Saka will make sure the football is on his right foot,
Yeah.
on the right side of, on
Yeah.
the outside of his right foot. So the only way that you could tackle me is by going through my body to get that ball.
Yeah.
He's very good at protecting the football when he dribbles.
Yes.
He's very good at that, and he wins a lot of fouls. He can cut in sometimes and you know shoot and whatnot, but Amad Diallo for me, out of all the attackers on the pitch, was the best attacker on the pitch. The game wasn't the greatest game from a neutral perspective. I expected more from Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that one goal and that one mistake was the thing that essentially, you know, finalized the game. That
Yeah.
was the dividing line. That
So
one
early on.
so early on within the first 22 minutes. And I did say my watch along, and you guys check the watch along. I did say if Arsenal score within the first 22 minutes, 20 minutes, I think the game, I think Arsenal win the game. And
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Yeah.
We didn't really create a clear cut opportunity, but neither did, I don't think you did. I know you had a few shots from range, but I don't think Arsenal created a clear cut opportunity either. So Arsenal fans will be happy, I think, with this win because you won. You beat Man United at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
You had to win, and you did what you had to do.
Yeah.
So you know, I'll take the L. But I know a lot of Arsenal fans who were expecting a thrashing were very surprised.
Yeah.
We had no Varane, no Martinez, no Bruno, no Rashford, no nothing, and you still couldn't really break us down.
Yeah. That's fair.
So from my perspective, the manager has to go. I've said this before on a different stream. I think Ten Hag has to go for many reasons. I'm not gonna do the emotional thing and say, he has to stay because give him time. Give him time for what? He has signed. He has made 400 million pounds worth of signings, right? That can't even get into his team. Mason Mounts and the Antonys are on the bench.
Yeah.
He talks about not being able to play his football when he's literally signed or extended contracts of all the players that he wants in his team. Players are disillusioned. Players are not playing for him. You have players like Casemiro and Varane who are clearly down tools. And when those sort of players down tools, those players who played with the best managers and won Champions Leagues are saying,
Yeah.
this guy is not good. You got to listen to them. He's lost the dressing room. I don't think he has the man management skills that are needed. The way he talks to players, the way he speaks to the media, you can tell he can't even speak. He's not a good communicator. So if he can't even speak to the media, how can he communicate to the players on the training ground and tell him what he wants of them,
Mm,
what he demands of them? How can he describe something in detail? Because you can't just say to a player, I want you to do this and kick the ball and do that. You can't, you got to sit the player down and articulate this thing very, very well. He's not a good communicator. He's not Fergie. Fergie was one of the best man managers. The
mm,
way this guy throws players under the bus, the way this guy operates, he's not a good man manager. He doesn't want he doesn't create an environment where players want to run through a brick wall for him. He doesn't. When he
yeah.
first started this season, this 3-1-6 formation that he tried to do with Mason Mount and Bruno up there, leaving Casemiro down there, leaving Cas by himself and
Mm,
exposing Casemiro. And now everyone's attacking Casemiro. Listen, you can't play in midfield by yourself. And now he's exposing him even more by playing this guy at centre back. Yes, he might have to play him at centre back because he has no other options. But let's not act like this is not a midfielder playing at centre back. Let's not act like Scott McTominay for Scotland has not played centre back and you couldn't play him instead at centre back. Let's not pretend. There's too many things that this manager has done wrong and he has to go because I don't see him changing.
mm.
His talent ID, his ability to identify what's needed, his ability to identify talent is questionable. He spent 70 million on Hoyland, 80 million on Anthony, and he refuses to play Amad Diallo. I'm sorry, this guy has to go. I'm done now. Well done, Arsenal.
Thank you.
I still don't think you guys are going to win the league.
I don't think so either, unfortunately. But that's just where the chips will fall. They'll land where they land. We've got a game in hand now.
Mm.
City are playing Tottenham on Tuesday. Tottenham at home, but I just don't know what kind of City's going to show up and what kind of Tottenham is going to show up. Now, I used to like Tottenham. I do think that they could potentially, at home, potentially pull something out that discombobulates City. And I also don't know what kind of team City are going to have, who they're going to play.
Mm.
I think that's also going to make the difference on Tuesday. But at the end of the day, all we can do is win the remaining games that we have, which is one now.
Mm-mm.
And it's really in City's hands, which I don't like. And to be really honest, I don't really believe in City. They're not a tangible entity. They are this sort of inflated with loads of extra money that they're not,
Uh,
So it's like, it's kind of boring, to be fair, if City wins the league again. And I'm sure Arsenal fans are going to laugh. City fans will laugh at that, but it is boring because it's
yeah.
not like you've truly developed as a team and grown. And it's like, of course, if you spend a lot of money and you pay a lot of money,
Yeah.
you're going to get players, you're going to play well, especially under Pep.
A lot of people feel that way about City. They've bought the league and all these things, and I think for some reason I don't know what it is. Right, it's because I don't really I respect City as a football team, but I don't respect the club, and because of that, right,
Good way of saying it.
I don't even care if they win another one. I don't care about the treble because nobody cared about the treble.
No.
Like, do you even remember the fact that they won the treble last season? Nobody even remembers. Nobody cares. So for me, and I think there's a divide in terms of Man United fans. I think if you're a Manchester United fan in Manchester,
Mm,
which is like 0.001% of all Man United fans, right? Because there's 500 million people who at least who support Man United, and Manchester only has a population of about 1 million people.
yeah.
So do the maths, right? If you're a Man United fan, you're 99.9% likely to live outside Manchester,
Yeah.
right? Like so, but if you're a Manchester United fan in Manchester, you probably don't want Manchester City to win the league again, right? Because in your mind, because they're a local team, in your head, in your sick head, yeah, you think they're your rivals because just because they're a local team, local team, local. No, you idiots. Arsenal are your rivals. They've won more Premier Leagues than Man City. They won more FA Cups than Man City. Arsenal will always be a bigger rival than Man City.
Yeah.
I don't even acknowledge Man City. Like that, Maybe if Man City win 12, 13, 14 Premier League titles, then I will start looking at them. But for me, Arsenal, as somebody who lives in London, you can say what you want, all Man United fans. Man United fans have to live somewhere, right?
Yeah,
You
I
have to have a home, right? And I live in London. Arsenal are the enemy. So from my perspective, I do not want Arsenal to win the league. I do not want Arteta to win the league. And I know I have friends who are Arsenal fans and family members who are Arsenal fans. And you're an Arsenal fan, but
hmm
I don't give a damn. I really don't.
You're always consistent. If you don't like the team, you don't like the team.
I don't want Arsenal to win the league. And I tell you why. Proximity is the most important thing. If you're a Man United fan in Manchester, you're probably going to know loads of Man City fans. And you're going to
True.
get it. You're going to get it from those Man City fans, right? That's another reason why you don't want Man City to win. If you live outside Man City, you know there are no Man City fans.
Yeah, they
They
don't
don't they
exist.
don't exist,
It's
right?
fake.
So the only fans that exist are Arsenal fans. So Man United fans outside of Manchester don't want Arsenal. A lot of them don't want Arsenal to win
I get it.
because Arsenal fans, they are some of the most gassed fans in the world. They think Saka is the best footballer in the world. Their their interpretation and perception of football is just weird. They talk too much, and we just can't have Arsenal. We can't have Arsenal winning the league.
I
I'm sorry.
understand.
I'm sorry. If I sound bitter, listen. I admit when I'm being emotional. And right now, I'm being emotional. I am.
The thing
It's
is,
not based on logic. This is based on emotion. So when I say this channel is an unbiased channel, at least that I can identify when I've thrown logic out the way. And right now, I've thrown logic out the way. I'm being emotional. I don't want Arsenal to win. I'm sorry.
I don't even mind that because
Ha!
you know what? Because I don't think we will win, and I'm not even angry about it. I'm proud of this season. I'm proud of the trajectory that we've been on the past 4 years. Go back to that documentary, the Amazon Prime documentary, that season that we got to see behind the scenes. If we'd carried on and we filmed every year that since then, you would literally see such a significant progression
Yeah,
in all areas of the pitch, in the coaching staff, in
yeah.
the style of play, in the way we line
I
up the
agree.
formations, how we move through the channels.
Arteta's done a well. Like the problem is, my beef isn't with Arsenal team
It's with the fans.
or Arsenal Football Club. My beef is just with the fans.
Why are we like this?
If Arsenal fans didn't just talk about their club being the best club and all these stupid things you say, if Arsenal fans just didn't speak,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, if we just
Like I said,
clapped.
it's because I don't hear Man City fans. I don't hear them,
Yeah.
so I don't mind if they win. It's because it's the fan base. So I hear what you're saying. What Arteta's done, I mean, you can argue what he's done is not good enough. There's Arsenal
Yeah,
fans who are like 5 seasons.
that's true.
How many trophies have you won in these 5 seasons? How many FA Cups have you won?
We've won less trophies than there've been years since he's been in charge.
Yeah.
So,
So you could argue that he actually hasn't done as well as he could have done for the trophies. That 4 trophies are available every season.
yeah.
And how many of those 4 trophies has he won? He won the FA Cup in his first season with Aubameyang, I
Yeah.
think.
Yes.
And since then, he hasn't won a trophy. Uh,
No.
So, so what are we happy about, Arsenal fans here? If football is about winning trophies, and 5 seasons he's only won one, and he won that trophy with not with his players, he won them with the old players, right? That he got rid of. Then how happy are you as an Arsenal fan? Really? Yes, there's been progress, but what have you won? I don't know. You tell me. Comment
Mm,
below. Comment below. Let me know what you thought of this game.
yeah.
Who played well for you and who didn't play well? Because all in all, I don't really think a lot of Arsenal players played well. A lot of United players didn't play well either, but United definitely, wow. I'm watching now the
Mhm.
flooding of Old Trafford.
And that is a symbolism of your whole club right now.
That personifies United fully.
I'm telling you, structurally, organizationally, look
It's
at the stadium from the people
from
in
the
the
top
state
to
to the
bottom.
everything is what is this? When I went to Old Trafford years ago, I said, you don't even have a screen for me to see. I have to use my eyes to look at the pitch.
The
Luckily,
the rich,
Ibrahimovic was
the
tall, so I could
richest
see
football
him.
club in the world, and everyone's updated their stadiums, and everyone's got a screen and all these things. And we go to Old Trafford. Some of the facilities are decent, but listen, the state of the seats, the seating, the stadium itself, it's just not good enough.
It's
And
unimpressive.
Ten Hag's now on my TV. He's on my TV, and I don't know what he's saying, but he's gonna be like, "This is just not." The players. I don't know what he's saying, but he's gonna be chatting shit. The thing I don't like about Ten Hag is that it's the gaslighting. It's the flipping gaslighting. It's they're not the fans don't know. The fans don't know football. I'm like, are you alright? Are you okay? You who are finishing eighth, Man United's worst Premier League season in like 40, 50 years. And you're saying that we don't know football, and you're saying that if the what do you say if the manager if the owners he doesn't believe the owners should sack him if they're sensible or something. You're trying to use that sort of manipulation.
If they
Like
have common
if
sense,
you
they
have
won't
common sense,
sack
they
him.
won't sack me. What? What are you saying, bro? Like, bro, I want to slap his bald head. I swear that I got nothing against bald people, but that's just
Make a satisfying sound.
yeah. I don't know. I don't
And the
know.
coconut.
Oh man, but it is what it is. Like I said, I'm Ten Hag out. We need a new change. I don't believe Ineos are gonna make all the changes that they've made and then leave the manager. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm,
We need new defenders. We need a new approach. I want a manager to come in and not just be pragmatic. I want a manager with a philosophy that's gonna rip everything up and say, listen, this is the way that we're gonna play. We're gonna play this way, and if you can't play this way, fair enough. Not no heavy metal, fast-paced Man City football where it's all about transition and we can't keep the ball. So at least today it showed that. Do you know what? If you play the players, you play
yes.
the Ahmed Diallos, if you play certain players that can keep the ball,
Yep.
we're more of a threat and we
Yep.
can play football. The front line, dead out, except for Ahmad. The midfield, keep Kobe. Obviously, Amrabat is only on loan anyway.
True.
Scott technically is not good enough, but I might keep him as a squad player. The back line, keep Diallo. Aaron Wan-Bissaka was we tried to get rid of him.
Yeah, he was on the way out
And
before.
and this Malasia,
Oh
we
yeah.
haven't seen him in like 10 years. All our defenders are injured. Everyone's on at Casemiro. If Cass goes or Cass stays, it's whatever. But I'm not one of those guys who's going to lie to you and say, this guy who was our best footballer, who was our best player last season, Casemiro, along with Varane and
He
Martinez,
was.
that triangle,
Yeah.
that base of
Yeah.
those three were the best players last season. You can't go from the guy scoring winners, always coming up with winning headers and being our best player from the end of May to the beginning of August being our worst player. How do you go from being our best player at the end of May to when the season starts in August being our worst player? You He hasn't got worse. He has not got worse, people. The only thing that's changed is that especially at the beginning of the season, he found himself isolated in the midfield. He's playing alongside Kobe, who's a very good footballer, but positionally and defensively, he doesn't have that yet. He's not a DM, Kobe. And he's playing with Bruno and Mason Mount, who have no defensive bone in their body. Right. When we were playing with that low block last season,
Mm,
him and Ericsson, even though Ericsson lost his legs towards the end of the season, when we played that low block, he was good. He was good. Since the system's changed, we've exposed his weaknesses. That's what's happened. And every footballer has weaknesses.
yeah.
The whole point of a system is to hide the footballer's weakness or deficiencies.
Yeah.
That's the point of a system. This system is not. How many Man United players look good in Ten Hag's system? How many?
Very little. It's a difficult one because you've got some really good players who are out on loan at the moment.
Mm.
You've got Jaden and you've got
This guy,
Greenwood, and I
this
wonder what's going to
guy
happen with them.
let Jadon Sancho go for Garnacho. That says it
I
all.
think it's such a poor decision to do that because if you're man managing people, you need to meet them where they're at. You don't freeze out. I don't know if you were like, I'm gonna take a hard line and show you guys that you can't step out of line. And I'm not Ronaldo's fan at all, but even some of the ways that he got treated before he left, I don't know. Like that's not. It doesn't set the morale well. It doesn't leave people with a good taste in their mouth. And if anything, United fans came together to just berate and abuse and bully Sancho.
Yeah, yeah. The treatment. One thing I don't like about United fans is most United fans are not intelligent, and there's always a rule. There's 5% versus the 95%. Like, don't forget, I also tell people this. We went to school with a lot of people, and a lot of people got D's and C's, right? And these people are allowed to vote. and these people are allowed to go and watch football. So a lot of times when you're listening to people, just understand you're not really listening to someone who's intelligent. Most of these fans, most of these pundits, whether it's Roy Keane, whether it's Gary Neville, these guys don't have GCSEs. These guys are not intelligent. And what you guys need to get into your head is that football has always been an intelligent man's game.
It's all psychological.
It's
Your
all
brain controls everything, your body and your
like your
mentality.
decision making is up here.
Mm-hmm.
What you decide to do, what you decide not to do, how you run, all of these things is your brain, right? And if you're not intelligent, you probably won't make it at the very top. The best footballers, whether you're Ronaldinho, or whether you're Messi, or whether you're
Messi,
Zidane,
Ronaldinho.
whether you're R9, whether you're Neymar, they have a level of intelligence, football IQ, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're Juan Mata or David Silva, you have the IQ. A lot of football fans, when they watch football, they don't even understand what they're watching. A lot of football fans are not fans of football. They don't enjoy watching football. They
No,
just sit there and enjoy the goals.
it's for your feelings.
Yeah, they
It's
wait.
for you to
It's a
attach your ego to
yeah,
something
yeah.
and be part of a tribe, be part of a
That's what it
collective,
is.
and you cuss these fans, we cuss these fans,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you'll feel good and you go back to work and you work for less money than you should be working for, and you're not thinking about,
That's what it
we
is.
can
It's
get,
tribals. It's religion.
yeah, it's football's a religion.
That's what it is. It's a religion. You sit there and you wait for your team to score and you wait for your team to, and the person who scores is the best player. And if the goal goes in, the person who concedes a goal is the worst player, and that's the level of their analysis.
Mm,
People who watch football, there's a lot of people who watch football who've never played football at a high level either, so they don't even understand what is needed. When they see a footballer do something really difficult, they don't understand how difficult it is because they've never played football. And the whole, I mean, I'm gonna go off topic here, but the whole goals and assists, the whole stat mad era that we're in, where everything's about stats. And when you watch a football match, you can understand that there's so many things that can't be captured
yeah,
by stats that you see with your eyes that can't be captured by
yes,
goals and assists. If all you're going to talk about is goals and assists, well, what about the pass before the assist? What if the pass before the assist is the most important pass and the assist is only like a 2 yard ball? What if someone dribbles past 5 players, gives the ball to someone else, who then plays the ball 2 yards for the assist, and then another player shoots and scores?
yeah,
The most important move was the guy who made the pass before the assist.
yeah.
But on the stats board, you only see goals and assists. You don't have most influential player. How do you calculate that? How do you add a number to most influential player? You know, there's no number. There's no stat for that.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole let's not watch football. Let's just watch it and then wait for the stats to come out and then base my understanding of the game on the stats rather than using your eyes. That way of football, it pisses me off. It does.
Ah,
It doesn't make sense.
I understand. And please understand, people, these stats are meant to be used for engagement.
Yeah, yeah.
These companies, these organizations, they want to put a stat out so that you talk about it. And what then happens is you get into these echo chambers, these perpetual echo chambers, where the same stats just go round and round and round and round. And then people decide to let's take a stat from the Bundesliga and let's take a stat from five years ago and say one's better. You can't do that. And all it's really designed is to get you frustrated, aggravated, and to
Yeah.
make more money off of us.
And it
So
works.
let's also enjoy the ball that we're seeing. If all football fans were looking to enjoy ball and to enjoy what they see on the pitch, these stats
It wouldn't
will
matter.
take care of themselves and
Yeah.
it won't matter.
It won't matter.
It will be, you'll
I
see it in
knew
your eyes.
I knew footballers didn't like football, right? When COVID happened and there were no fans in the stadium and people were saying, oh, the atmosphere, there's no atmosphere, so I'm not watching the game. I knew then that football fans weren't really a fan of football. They were just fans, they were just religious
Yeah,
and they
just
were a
want to be.
fan of the feeling. They just wanted that dopamine rush because when Man United play, I feel an attachment to Man United. So it's like when they succeed, I succeed.
Hmm.
When they fail, I fail. That is what we want. And that goes into our veins rather than stepping away and treating football how it should be treated. It's a sport and you have to entertain me. It's an entertainment sport. I have to sit back and you have to go and entertain me. Forget how I feel.
Yeah,
I'm going to watch how you entertain me rather than attach myself with all this emotion. So, yeah, I think football is going down a path that I do not like. We're getting a bit sidetracked here, but I will say this to sum up, right? To sum up, well done, Arsenal.
thank you.
Well done, Arsenal fans. Be happy in this win. You're not going to win the league. I pray you don't. I'm sorry, but I'm being
Drew
truthful.
I prayed for this.
Yeah, I'm right now. I'm Drew McIntyre, and you're CM Punk. I pray for
See,
this.
I never thought I'd be like CM Punk. See, I don't really chant for
Yeah,
him, but
well done. It is what it is. Ten Hag out, and that's what I have to say. If you let me know if you disagree with anything. I've said a lot. We've said a lot. We've chopped it up. Comment below, guys. Is Ten Hag gonna survive? Is he gonna be Man United's manager at the end of the season? Are Arsenal gonna win the league? What do you think of the progression of Arsenal?
mm,
The football that we played today, the football that we both played today. Give your honest opinion on Ahmad.
yes.
Yeah, give us comment below. We want to learn from you guys. What is your number one take from today's game? Yeah, that's it, man. Onwards and upwards. I'm hoping that the season will just end quickly so we can just know or find out what's going on. And I hear that Ten Hag is going to be here next season, it means there's no hope for Jadon Sancho. It
That's
means there's
sad.
no hope for a lot of players that I like. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But there you go. There you have it, guys. Anyway, smash a like, share this video, please turn on notification. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We say what we see, not how we feel, even though I'm triggered. And I probably said a lot of how I feel. So
Yeah,
I,
but
I probably contradicted a little bit, but I just had to get off my chest.
I mean, all of our feelings, all
Oh,
logic is
valid.
projected through feelings,
True.
so